Good evening, ladies and gentlemen out there in YouTube land. I am Deleted Scenes, human being, American, and YouTuber Ronin. I would like to welcome you to the other side of midnight, the sleepover edition. Already in the chat. Friend of the channel member JPRPH1 saying hello at 10:06 p.m. You got here before me. She of the smoldering avatar, Netters Network. FKC 2005, sometimes known as Tim, who was not the first one here for once. Huh. Dude, you're slipping. I think you're going to have to be here earlier next time. Keeping an eye on you. All right. Scrolling, right. Our man from the future, Sashi. Daniel Barry, Sports Highlights. Good to see you, sir. Tim Hayes, swinging the blue wrench. Friend of the channel, Darth Plato. Mark Mounikoff, Quabla. This is YouTube, and this is the other side of midnight. Watch fully descend. Social media is the white of the eyes and the darkness within. A light? He's not going to let this go, is he? Forgot the show is on tonight. Guess what? So did I. It's been a day. All right. John Doe Juggalo, good to see you. One of Nick Weiser's regulars. Good to see you, sir. Believe it or not, I have Shanghaied several people into coming onto the show with me, and I am pretty sure they are all regretting it at this point. The tired midnight blogger himself, Curtis Selby. Yeah, I know, right? Dude, wake up! Hey! Hey! All right.
Hey, I know that guy.
Hey.
How the heck are you doing?
Hey! If I'm staying awake through this show, you got to stay awake through this show, okay?
Fine. Jeez.
What's with you, man?
No, well, the reference back to the tired blogger thing.
Huh. All right. Faithful Blue Wrench, channel member, the Bird Woman of YouTube. Watch out for her second channel, Fluff Trick Productions. Connie Cleary, who apparently is joining us from on location.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Hoping you're okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Long story, I'll explain later.
Outside. This guy again. Jeez. Okay. Let's call Troy Pacelli.
You know, Curtis Selby's just going to find out pretty darn soon that I just started following him on Twitter, X, which is not true. which is not true. I've been following you for a long time, but I went to tag you in something and I wasn't finding you. So I had to go and look at the last thing that you liked or whatever, go to your thing, and it said, the white subscribe was there. And I'm like, I've been subscribed. So I think this is just my speculation that you're getting unsubscribed to people on Twitter just the way you get unsubscribed to people on YouTube.
Oh, wow.
So pay attention to those things.
All right.
Or I'm just an idiot and I hit the wrong button and unsubscribed when I meant to.
I've been known to do stuff like that too.
All right.
Okay, I'm still following you. So
the reason why I know you are all really here. She's shaking her head no, but it's true. Sense corner.
I just want to know, did you forget this was supposed to be happening tonight before or after you sent out the invites?
Well, after. Because here's the thing. Okay, all right, folks, I got a confession to make. I dozed off while Geeky Geezers was on, which was why I was not in like the last 40 minutes of the chat.
Oh.
And the problem is when I first wake up, I do not have that sense of time. The first thing I have to do is look at what time it is. And sometimes that does not help because I got to figure out after that, okay,
what day it is?
8:30. What day is it? So, yeah.
Oh, my.
Well,
you're all refreshed then. Like,
I guess
I'm probably gonna fade out in an hour and a half, and you'll be still raring to go because you had a little nappy poo.
We'll see.
Sashi says I put him to sleep, and Tim says I think Troy's just dumb. You're not wrong.
Be nice. Not that you need or want to know this, but I actually got called by one of my friends that I'm often whining about in my harangues about what's going on in politics. And it was a good call, don't get me wrong. And I think they're listening to some of my stuff because he was like really cool and didn't say hardly anything about politics at all. But I say that just to say that I missed about half of y'all's thing because I was talking to him. So.
That's fair.
Well, glad to have you back, John Doe. I've seen you on the Toxic Tuesday chats. I'm glad to have you here. Hopefully, I'll have Nick back on here sometime very soon. I'd like to get him for like the entire show. I mean, I had him on for the entire show last time, but I'd like to have him on as like a one-off guest. But it's just a matter of getting the schedules to mesh. Nick has a lot he's got to do. He's got to wrangle the kids and all. So I understand that, the timing of this show is not necessarily conducive to everyone's schedule. I understand that. But I'm glad to have you.
Stick here, right? Because I've often billed this show as like a great wind down to the weekend, kind of, center yourself back down, smooth it out to launch back into Monday.
Zen.
Yeah.
Oh, it's only 9 where you are, Darth.
Yeah, where you are.
Lucky for you.
Welcome, Darth, and welcome, Tim Hayes, too.
That for some of us.
All right. Yeah. I mean, let's go into that a little bit, because, not only am I trying to stick to, my schedule in real life, sticking to a schedule here, now I'm in the middle of what appears to be this shadow banning type situation and trying to work my way around that, because, for those of you who've been paying attention to my channel, the views on my channel have gone pretty much straight to the dumper, and it started at a particular time. And I am starting to wonder if someone is unhappy with something I might have said during a particular program where I like to say things that people might not agree with. Let's put it that way. I am going to be honest. That's my thing. I don't know how to be anything other than myself. So I'm going to come on here and I'm going to be honest and I'm going to tell the truth as I see it. And if there's going to be any kind of, shall I put it this way, injustice, I'm going to call it out. And I guess there are people out there who don't like that. I think we've seen this week some of the people who don't
Oh, you
like
talking
that.
about the Star Wars thing? What the people did to try to get rid of Will and Nerd Gary? Yeah.
Yeah. Someone unhappy with what you said? No.
Oh, Darth, you poor soul.
A guy named Joe or Lady and Kamala didn't like your show? Probably not. Well, Joe's on the beach. He's fine. He's out of our hair, I think. Try working at UC Berkeley. Yeah.
Berserkly.
Yeah, Berkeley's always been that way. I expect it.
Yes, that's true.
You know.
It's not like it's a sudden change.
No. But that's the thing. Is that, and hello to Clifton 3D. Yeah, the thing is, YouTube does not always tell you why, a shadow ban might take place or why this video is not monetized over another one. Boomer is dealing with a thing right now that I still don't understand what happened there. If it's a claim or a strike, and it was a show that was simulcast, so why him and not everybody else involved?
Exactly.
I don't get it.
What happened? Did his video get removed or?
Yep.
What?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
He was simulcasting Last Call, so it was my stream, and he got a strike. It was a community guideline strike, not a copyright strike.
And they never tell you what you did wrong when you get something like that.
They do not. But he's trying to infer from the things they did say. He said he thinks it's something that happened around the 5-minute mark. He thinks that they were talking. They were saying things about medical misinformation or something like that. He's like, but I went. Now he, of course, can't go back and see it, but I've still got it up on Rumble. So he goes and he's watching around the 5-minute mark, and he's like, "There's nothing about the coup for any of that at the 5-minute mark." So I don't know what this is, and like Deleted Scenes was just saying. Why his and not me and not Netter, right? I said, unless somebody specifically flagged him or he's specifically being watched for some reason.
Someone might have gotten a burr up their butthole and flagged him, reported him. Maybe it was done enough times. And YouTube, a lot of times it's just an automatic system thing.
No, Tim, that's a different thing. There's a tool for us. And I don't know if you guys are using it. I never should have activated it because it's useless to me. It's a tool to look and see if other people are it shouldn't be simulcasting, but like re-uploading your content.
So like under the copyright section?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to, it'll tell you, Last Call, some people might be rebroadcasting your stuff. You should go check. And I go and I look, and it's Netter and it's Boomer, you guys and whatnot. And it's like, I know, I mean, it's like, but I suppose it's useful if I ever actually do anything that's interesting enough for people to want to try and steal it from me. But yeah, no, because that's that kind of thing, Tim.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of that going on, unfortunately.
He's not wrong. Yeah, that's absolutely true.
Sad.
I do want to say hello to Joe's Atmosphere. What up?
Yep.
What are we
Hi,
into tonight?
Joe.
And
And-
Gorilla's Random Thoughts with, hey, keep it down. I'm
Hey,
trying
keep
to
it down. I'm
sleep.
trying to sleep.
So are the rest of us.
Volume control. Volume control right at the bottom of the video.
Hey, gorillas.
Oh, no.
Vol-
Joe, I saved
Oh.
that for Gary's show. That's Gary's show. That's not
Wait,
the show.
where did that come from?
I said it. I said someone had a burr up their butthole.
Oh, we're going to be talking butt stuff today.
I'm not even commenting on that one.
Right?
I didn't tell Hasbro or Disney to stick a toilet saber up their ass yet. You know? No, he haven't actually. All right.
Tim, did I ever show you the meme of it's a meme that's been going around. I touched it up a little bit. It's the thing of Rey in, I don't remember which movie it was. She's got the lightsaber and she holds it up, she looks at it, and then it's out of frame and it looks like she might be doing something with it. Well, I added a frame where the lightsaber's coming out her mouth.
No.
Oh no.
I seen that one.
Yeah.
And hello to Jason Fox.
Howdy,
From
howdy.
Norway 540 Studio.
Welcome,
in Harris.
welcome. Check
See
out
you.
his channel. Make sure you follow him. Follow him on all the socials. He's got a great network over there. Great bunch of guys. And I mean guys generally. That has nothing to do with gender.
Oh,
People.
that's kind of understood. It should,
should
be
be.
understood.
It should be.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find this thing that Tim was talking about here in the chat. I have not checked all my messages for the evening. If everybody saw how many messages I got per day off of how many different different platforms, I don't get to them all right away, and I need to. Hold on, let me see.
Yeah. Honestly, before I decided to get serious about YouTubing, I was backing off of all my social media stuff. And so I kind of had to try to get back into it a little bit.
Oh, Tim. Oh, dude. Serious?
What?
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 No. We covered that. No, we are not.
No.
No, we are not going to put this guy.
Oh, sorry,
on.
I don't think I see what's being
No.
said.
Dude. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Well, that will not be this show, my friend. That's going back to the Blazing Saddles, because Bill and I finally did our Blazing Saddles show today, and
I was lost. No idea what you guys were talking about.
And a certain character is named for a certain person who did a certain thing. And
that could be anybody.
Yeah, that's not going to be on the show because I don't want to gross everybody out.
Okay.
So okay, that will be it. That will be for when I definitely want to get my channel yeeted. So we're moving on. Okay.
Have fun with the NFL, Joe's Atmosphere.
Oh yeah. Is anybody watching? Does anybody?
I stopped watching football years ago when it started getting really ridiculously political with the kneeling and all that stuff. I just
frankly
I lost
don't
all
care
interest
anymore. Sorry.
Yeah.
Darth Plato says we've grown up and we can take it. Speak for yourself, Darth Plato.
No. See,
I think that's a reference to the trigger warning. Maybe Sashi was saying, "Does this show have a trigger warning?"
But Tim, I know it's someone farting classical gas. Okay, I get it. I just don't want to do fart jokes the rest of the friggin' night. Okay, I think we've had enough of those tonight.
Trigger warnings? We don't need no stinking trigger warnings.
I'm a walking trigger warning.
That's a given.
You got it. Isn't that a kind of monkey?
You know, something that annoyed me about a trigger warning recently, and I mentioned it in the review I did for Blink Twice. There is a trigger warning at the beginning of it.
Yeah.
Which, if you read it, then you know what's going on in the movie, which I didn't want to know this, so I didn't read it. But just the thought of it aggravated me. I don't know. How about if they just say, like, if I'd listen to this podcast called Case File. It's an excellent true crime podcast. I highly recommend it. But at the beginning of everyone, they just say it's kind. You would think it would be self-evident if you're listening to a story about stories about true crime. There's going to be some disturbing stuff, and that it should not be necessary to have to put a trigger warning in front of every single freaking episode. They're generally general about it. They'll say this, involves disturbing, content. Just be aware of that before you listen. Or it involves crimes against children. It might not be suitable for all viewers. But when you're watching a movie, I mean, do we need to have trigger warnings? Is this going to become a thing now where we're going to have trigger warnings in front of anything with horrible content that basically tells you what's going to be happening in it?
I was talking about this during Geeky Geezers, and I said I would be in favor of a blanket thing that says this content and all content you may consume may offend you. That's on you. Deal with it.
Well, I mean, aren't ratings kind of an indicator that there might be some stuff that's adult only, that sort of thing? Why do you, and they tell you what it's rated for, rated for violence, sexual content, drug use, whatever. Why? Whatever.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, I know. That's true. But I feel like it's a tool to coddle adults that are more childish than anything. Adults that need to be treated like children. Catering to this sensitivity that has just seeped into everything.
Yep, exactly.
Well, one adult has joined us that does not need a trigger warning, and that is Jesse Green. So hello to Jesse Green.
Howdy.
Welcome, Jesse Green.
Yes. She hears the movie Blinks Twice.
True, Darth.
Indeed.
The moon
to the government, everyone is a child. Yeah, sadly. Yeah.
Yes, but we don't need parents. We have our own. So remember that come election day, people. Don't vote away your adulthood. Don't vote away your liberties.
Oh, well, people, they've been doing that for years.
Yeah, well, those people need to grow the hell up.
They do, but they won't, unfortunately.
Yeah, true.
Brenda said, I worked at GameStop for many years. No one looks at or reads the rating for movies or games. I do, even though, I mean, I don't have any kids and it's me most of the time, but I can see where someone who was really paying attention and was really concerned with the kind of content their kids can see is, so I think that's good that, there is, this is what it's rated. This is why, but then again, you have
parents
that
are paying attention.
Attentive,
in other words,
yes. And then you have that whole question, like with Borderlands, for example. I've heard people say, well, if Borderlands was rated R and more violent like the game, and I go, I don't think that would have helped the film because there's no story there. I don't think more action or more gore would have saved it necessarily. And oddly, still not the worst movie this year.
Really?
But we'll get into that here in a bit.
In order for the bar to be set any lower, we're going to have to start digging.
Yeah, sadly. All right. Most people aren't concerned. They just wouldn't come back to the store and yell at an employee for selling it to them in the first place. Well, that's not on the...
Or complain
Yeah,
about it on social media.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. Let's see. Tim says, I'm okay with the warning as long as they want to say it was... I'm sorry. If they want to say it was from, say, the 30s, they didn't want to say this is the way things were.
I don't even like that. I don't, like they've got warnings in front of Gone with the Wind and other movies. And I just, if people aren't already aware that things were different way back when.
And the problem is they need to learn what was different.
Yeah.
If they don't want, if they think that's offensive, good. Learn about it. So you don't repeat that history. I'm offended by the idea that you want to isolate yourself from it and thereby bring it around again.
Okay. It's going to be that kind of night of you people DMing me with this stuff. Troy, I was telling you about it. I am going to have to ask you to put the keyboard down and step away.
I was typing responsibly. I could have shared that. I could just bring it up, and I did.
Oh, I got to see what. See, I got my screen big, so I didn't even see what you wrote. Hold on.
Oh, he didn't write it. He DM'd
No. I DM'd him. So
Okay.
You guys shouldn't be seeing.
Let's put it this way. I understand.
You can put a trigger warning on it before you bring it up.
Let me put it this way to the folks who are not seeing what I am seeing right now.
I described it earlier.
And this one time at band camp, I put my lightsaber in my blank. Okay.
Well, no, it's implied that that's what's happening in that picture. You don't actually.
It's obvious what is happening in this picture. Okay.
I actually am wondering where that original meme, those scenes come from. Because it's like, what the hell was happening in that scene that they were able to get those shots to make that meme?
Yeah.
What movie is it from?
I don't know if it's the Force.
It looks like
one of the Star Wars.
Yeah,
okay.
It's
Force Awakens or the other one, or the Last Jedi. I don't remember which one it was. No, it had to have been Force Awakens because that's where she gets the lightsaber.
Yeah.
Okay, Netter, if you're listening, I may need you to cut his mic.
You can cut my mic too. You have that ability.
That's right. You do have the mute.
Oh my God!
No, Troy's gone.
Jeez Louise, he had to go. Oh no!
This tragic accident.
Wow.
Now
you can play at that game.
Mutually assured destruction, my friend.
Fine. Oh! You're taking over this show now, huh?
See how he is?
Yeah.
All right.
And everybody in the chat's like, wait, now we want to see what he's talking about.
This was what you were saying before the stream started, right? Oh, okay.
Right.
All right.
Duck season, wabbit season, duck season,
Fire.
wabbit season.
Duck season, I insist you shoot me now.
This is why anime is doing so well, also.
Yeah.
Because they don't coddle the audience.
No.
On that note, I had a lot of fun streaming Fist of the North Star. That was a blast. I was gratified by the number of people who came in. And
that's an anime?
It is an anime.
Yeah.
I have to rant.
No,
it's just it's this anime that I have to watch for a live stream I'm doing with Soundbooth Theater on Wednesday. It's called Legend of the Galactic Heroes: My Conquest as the Sea of Stars, Part 1, and it's just like an hour long.
Wow.
And apparently it was a series and other movies and stuff Oh my gosh, you guys, it's been absolute torture to watch this thing. It is so freaking boring. Okay,
Oh,
that's my
no.
rant. But I can't talk about it with the peeps that join me on the live stream because we try to keep our thoughts,
Well,
secret until the live stream. But oh my gosh, I can't wait to. I watch it in 5 or 10 minute chunks, and it's taken me days.
I may meet this person, but I have yet to know anyone who thinks that Fist of the North Star is
Corey.
boring.
I don't think I've heard of that one.
Okay.
Yes, a Ray fan fiction. I'll just leave it at that.
Ray fan fiction.
Yeah, I've seen some of that Ray fan fiction. Yeah.
I need to start writing some Ray fan fiction.
No, you do not. you do not.
No, you really do not.
Jeez.
You know what? The adult entertainment industry's probably got us covered if you want to go, look for it.
Oh,
Yeah.
good recommendation. Thank you, Troy.
Shall we get
I
started
generally
with the
like
interview?
anime.
In this case, I'm
John.
just assuming.
It just depends what it is.
Yeah. I'm to get it now. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yes,
just
and hello,
DM'd you, Clifton.
Howdy, Wilkie's Movies and Music.
It's a
Yeah.
lively one tonight, my friend. You got here just in time.
Yes. Yeah, and Tim, of course, with his usual Fisted and North Star joke that he tells every time it gets mentioned. Fisted of the North Star. Yeah.
Fisting of North Star.
Moving
Yes, yes.
Isn't there a
Yeah.
live action?
There
version
is,
as
but
well?
please, for
Yeah.
the love of God, unless you just want to be sad, don't watch it.
I've heard it's okay on its own, but as
No,
an
no.
adaptation, it's
No.
Oh, it's just terrible.
bad.
Okay.
If you have to, maybe watch the Brandon Tenold riff of it, and if you find that is still palatable to you, then go watch it.
Oh.
Otherwise, yeah.
Well, watch his riff of anything, really.
Huh?
My spot. But that's the thing, because you see some of these channels that talk about bad movies, and I started out watching a lot of these channels that were like bad movie night channels and whatnot, and they just make me more interested in wanting to see.
I guess if you're in the mood for something that's just totally cheesy, but please, I do ask you this: if you're going to watch both of them, watch the cartoon first, so you can at least see what it ought to be like, and then watch the live action. And if you enjoy it, God bless you. Go in peace. But I can't deal with the live action one unless I'm riffing it and kind of half toasted. So.
Well, I'm that way because on the Western show, we've been asked a lot about the 1980 Lone Ranger, and I'm like, I refuse to do that show unless you riff it.
You mean the Legend of the Lone Ranger?
I'm sorry.
The Legend of the Lone Ranger.
Yeah, from 1980. Yeah.
I've got it on DVD.
Yeah. When you're 7, it's a good movie.
Right.
You watch it as an adult.
Oh no.
Oh no. No, that movie has got awful.
I suspect that one would have probably been a good one for when Boomer and I were talking about rose-colored glasses and things not holding up.
That's definitely one.
I still remember liking it, so I think it's a good movie, but I haven't gone back to watch it since the 80s. So
I think I was 12 the last time I saw it. So
it was the last big push at action figures for Lone Ranger. That's kind of where my focus was. Mark's like, what don't you have on DVD? I know. Right? And whatever I don't have, I usually end up getting. Because, look, own physical media, people. If you own it, they can't take it away from you.
Yep.
Unless it's Warner Brothers, then it'll just
Oh,
rock.
Bass Reeves. I didn't realize Lone Ranger
Yes.
was based on him.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I
brought
recently
that up
found out
earlier.
about this guy, and I heard there was like a TV show or TV movie made about him. There's even a
There was a
podcast that talks
series.
about him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to watch that.
Very, very interesting guy. I'm glad that they're finally doing something about him. Taylor Sheridan, I think, is involved with that show as well.
Yes, I heard, which makes me
yeah.
even more interested because I know he's
So,
typically quite good with the storytelling.
yeah, the Lone Ranger was based on Bass Reeves. Obviously, the Denzel Washington character in Magnificent Seven is based somewhat on Bass Reeves as
Oh,
well.
I didn't know that either. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. It's that movie is basically just take Bass Reeves, rename him, and put him in Magnificent Seven, and there you go. You know, yeah. So yeah, there have actually been a number of things based on him, but yeah, it's a very interesting guy. I don't know how deep into his life the show goes, but his life definitely took some turns. So it's let me more seeing. Sashi says, "I'm sorry, folks. I'm behind in the chat. I don't want to watch
to that. Yeah,
a live action Full Metal Alchemist."
I don't think I could handle a dog chimera.
How's it going?
Sashi, I watched that movie. If it's the same one I'm thinking of, because I love Full Metal Alchemist. It's probably my favorite anime, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I don't remember if that part was in there, to be honest, the dog chimera. Because the movie obviously only touched on certain elements. I wasn't super crazy about the movie. It was a little better than the live action Attack on Titan, but I liked the Death Note live action more, not the Netflix one, the Japanese one. It's kind of hard to adapt anime, though. That's the thing.
Tim asking if we have a topic. Not really.
I don't think so.
No. They can't take it away from you yet. Oh, they're getting there. Yeah, WB expired their digital codes and their discs. Yeah, pretty much. And hello to Lemon Pie.
Loudy Lemon Pie.
And of course, Mikey sees 4. Good to see you
Howdy,
both.
howdy. Good to see you.
Arturo is with us. Hello.
Yeah, Arturo. Yeah, we're both we both got back from DragonCon this past Monday, and we picked up what we call con crud. So we're on the tail end of dealing with whatever.
What that's like.
Yes, it was.
What's amazing is that throughout the the incident 2019, 2020, 2021, those conventions that actually were still going on that required masks and all that kind of stuff, people still got con crud, surprisingly.
Yeah.
I wonder how that's possible.
I didn't know they did a sequel to that, or if I did, I forgot about that.
Do we ever have a topic? Sometimes.
Someone's trying to start something. Yeah, I was going to say don't.
No, for the love of God, no.
So you want to be
Sashi was like, why did you say that name?
Jason Fox is saying that it's raining. We could talk about the weather.
Wait, what? Really?
What?
What he's saying here? I did not know that.
Oh,
I thought it came after.
Oh.
The first live action Death Note movie came before the anime. I did not realize this. So we watched the anime, and then we watched the first 2 Japanese live action Death Note movies. There's a third one that we haven't seen. I didn't realize that was before the anime. That's interesting. Okay.
Clifton 3D is saying it's a weird series. I don't know in which row to watch. Full Metal Alchemist, Full Metal Panic, and
Okay.
Full Metal Jacket.
Oh, Full Metal Panic is not. No, I don't think that has anything to do with.
I think he's making
Oh,
a
Full
joke.
Metal. Oh, da. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Full
Okay.
Metal.
And welcome, Not This Time Net.
Howdy, Not This Time Net.
The Japanese live. Okay. Wow. I totally didn't know that. This is my first time getting con crud, you guys. Because I'm the one that's like the old mama bear telling the rest of the people, y'all shouldn't be staying out too late. You shouldn't be drinking too much. You're going to compromise your immune system. They don't listen to me. And a couple years ago at Vegas, almost all of them got sick except me. They were the ones going out, hanging out like 2, 3, 4 in the morning when we had to be up at 8 because it was a convention. It was, we were there for business. And I was like, if I make it out of this con without getting sick, I am going to lord it over you forever. And I continue to do that, but then I get sick. I got sick and I wasn't even like pulling crazy late hours, but I know it did it. We had an event at the con. Our company had an event at the con, and part of the event involved me having to talk a lot with people. I was on a bingo card, and so people had to come up to me and tell me their favorite movie. That was part of the bingo card. So I was talking a whole bunch. And I could feel, when you talk too much and you wear down your throat, you actually, it's basically like a wide open door for germs. And that's what happened.
And when I used to do...
All right. Anybody who's a wrench in my chat, could you please unblock Tim? Please unblock Tim. He got accidentally yeeted.
Oops.
And I can't seem to do it from here.
Tim?
So
Jason took care of it.
Oh, are we good?
Okay.
Yeah, he's back on.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Had to go check.
How do you unblock somebody? I did that to somebody once, and I didn't know how to unblock them.
You just press on their name and go from there.
In YouTube or in StreamYard?
YouTube. You have to go to YouTube on that.
Oh, okay.
And, okay. This is Not This Time Net says, and the Japanese battle royales before.
Nobody, even the owner of the channel, can't even do anything about it. You have to let it write it out.
Oh, that sucks. Okay.
Okay.
Right. But if you accidentally block somebody, you can unblock them.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I learned that ages ago.
Okay.
I knew Battle Royale was before Hunger Games. I personally feel like Hunger Games is superior. I watched Battle Royale. I did not like that movie too much. It was okay, but I felt like the acting was pretty doggone terrible. Because you know how a lot of times in Japanese or Korean movies, they overact stuff.
Right.
There's a word for it. I can't remember what it's called. And I don't want to repeat what I think it might be because I'm probably wrong. But that kind of aggravates me. And I felt like there was quite a bit of that going on in Battle Royale. And that was just took me right out of it.
And hello to Jonathan Conroy. All right.
Right, Sergeant.
Jessie says she thinks Battle Royales.
Yeah, a lot of people
better.
do. I watched it just because I'd heard it was so great, and I'd take the Hunger Games over that any day.
Mikey says the last Hunger Games was the best. I didn't watch them after.
I watched. I didn't watch the one that came out with Rachel Zegler because I lost all interest after she opened her mouth too much.
Which
I don't even want to see her face.
Which one ends with PETA knocked out and they're in the plane and Philip Seymour Hoffman
That's the second
Basically, that's the second one.
one. That's the end
I
of the
didn't
second
watch. Okay, I didn't watch it after the second one.
one. Okay. I saw all of those
So
first
okay.
4 because I had listened to the books. I love the books. I listened to the books. As the show went on, as the series went on, Jennifer Lawrence became more and more annoying to watch and listen to. But by the time that last one came out, she hadn't reached like full annoyance factor for me. So I was able to tolerate it. But yeah, those were good books. I really like them.
Never watched BR2. I haven't either, actually, even though
No,
I
I
have it
haven't
on
seen it
DVD.
either. I haven't seen that either.
Yeah.
No, Arturo,
But,
there's no topic. We're just chatting
yeah, we're just
until
hanging.
The topic
yeah.
is
till we wear
Hunger
ourselves out.
Games.
The topic is we don't have a topic, basically.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Well, I
That-
think that the reason you don't like the Hunger Games movies is because you don't like strong women in lead roles.
Yeah, that's
Remember, Jennifer
obviously
Lawrence was the first action
That's
female action.
obviously that's clearly what it is.
Yeah, I can see it, Sin. You're just a misogynist. I can just
Yeah.
read
I
it
have
all over
internalized
you.
misogyny. I've been
Yes,
that
yes. Embrace it.
You pick me, you.
You have to admit the problem before you can do anything about it.
Right, right.
Oh,
There's a
this is
12-step
interesting about
program
Death
for
Note.
you.
Oh dear. Well, are you guys doing an intervention or something? Is that what
Yes, that's what the real
Okay,
topic
yes,
is.
yes. That sounds like a good idea. Let's do that.
Figure it out.
Sin, I want you to know you're good enough. You're strong enough. You're smart enough. Doggone it. We
People
like
like
you.
Aw. Don't bring up Halloween ends, Arturo. Oh, you did it on purpose. He did that. Look, and I just read his comment right before. Can we talk? Can we like talk about something that gets Sin all stirred up? Yes.
Exactly.
oh boy.
All that
That
therapy
dumb
that we
freaking
did, it's all
movie.
been done.
He
That
knows how to push my
trilogy.
buttons.
Good
Oh
lord.
my gosh. I love 2018. That was
Yeah.
a good movie. Kills and ends. Oh.
Well, Sin, Evil dies tonight.
Oh my god.
Did they
I only
tell you
watched
that
1
Evil
and 3,
dies
and that's
tonight?
it.
Allow me
geez.
to restate that Evil dies
Evil
tonight.
dies tonight. Now
Mhm.
let's
And
go
then-
run through the hospital hallways with an iron, holding an iron.
Yeah,
What in
and
the world was that about?
and
I
then
get
like kill this guy who was a foot and a half shorter than the guy you're looking for.
It's so
Bald and running around in a hospital gown. Yeah, clearly
you
that
remember-
is the serial killer you're looking for.
You remember how they tried to act like there was going to be some political message to kills?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Which was really stupid because they had filmed that before all the COVID crap had happened.
Mhm.
They filmed that thing in 2019. And so I don't know why. Well, I guess the reason they said that was some maybe draw audiences, thinking that was going to get them some attention. But it was stupid. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. What a waste of time and everything.
Okay, I do have a topic. Although
Okay.
I think you all have talked it out, but I'll put it in some context. So here about a year or so ago, I'm like this ginormous Tolkien fan, and like the Silmarillion is to me like way too important to me,
Mhm.
So the Rings of Power came out, and I
Oof.
watched 2 episodes, and I'm not going to say I hated it, but I just really didn't care. And you got to understand that that's basically to me the same as someone else hating it, because I love the Silmarillion, I love the Lord of the Rings. And one of my friends sent me a text a thread. He shared a thread the other day. And the thread started off with So the armchair critics are out now
Mm.
complaining about the Rings of Power, talking about lore and canon, and I'm afraid I kind of went off because
Well, good.
I mean, granted, I've only seen the 2 episodes, but what's so wrong with complaining about something because of lore and canon?
Yeah. If Lauren Cannon isn't important to you, then why are you even watching it? And why do you care if someone does care about Lauren Cannon?
Exactly. You know? Exactly. And he was like, well, I haven't read the book like you have, but I've watched the show and I love it. And I'm like, well, that's great. That's okay. I'm not wanting to take that away from you. But there are people like, and so what I did was he's a big fan of the Dragonlance novels. And I don't, if you're not, that's okay. But I basically told him, hey, look, to me, it was just the same as if this one major character who's the most important and coolest person in the series, more or less, and he dies. He has this big sacrifice and he dies and saves the party and saves the world.
Exactly.
It would be just like if you made a movie about that series, barely mentioned him, and rewrote it so that one of the other, like they had an elf character too, but you just totally rewrite that character so that she's completely different from what she was in the books.
Right.
And he kind of understood what I was talking about, but he continued to be like, well, it's really good because of this and it's really good. And I didn't want to just sever the friendship over it, but it's like,
well, here's where I go on these kinds of things. You are giving that friend more consideration than that friend is giving you. How good a friendship is that?
Well,
because
because
listen,
you're right.
After you've made that point, it's like, look, this matters to me. You didn't read the books, and it doesn't matter to you. And therein lies the problem. These people making these shows didn't read it, don't care, and are doing whatever they want with it. And all the fans that are the whole point for why you're using that IP get pissed and leave.
Yeah.
If it's a good show, it would be good if it wasn't
on its own
Elrond and Gladriel and all these other characters. Go make your own damn thing in some other world.
Oh yeah, honestly, I think if it weren't Galadriel and Elrond and Gandalf and Sauron, and I think I could like it. I think I could really like it because I don't care that Galadriel's a girl boss. That does not. I do not even care. That's fine. I don't like Mary Sue's, but I don't see the Galadriel in the Rings of Power as a Mary Sue. Maybe it's okay if other people disagree.
But I also don't see Galadriel as a warrior.
Well, no, I never did either. The
characterization of her makes zero sense based on.
I always thought of her as a cleric / mage. Is what I always thought of.
Exactly.
And I'm kind of okay with her. I can do the mental gymnastics to be okay with her being a warrior because she's so many thousands of years old. Here's what I can't take, at least in the first 2 episodes, and they may rectify this later, but her brother, who is just literally it took Sauron to kill this guy. Sauron himself to do it. And I'm kind of exaggerating the story a little bit, but still, that's the way I saw it as a kid when I read it. So he's a total badass. He saves, I don't know how much of the lore you know, but he saves Baron Urkamian, which is basically the same as if it's basically like the moment in The Wrath of Khan where Spock dies to save Kirk.
Sure.
It's almost the exact same thing. And you're just going to make that a little side note and barely mention it. And yeah, it eats up Galadriel, but what about this entire world and culture
Yeah.
that nearly deify this guy just because he's such a badass? That's the first thing. The second thing is, again, I'm a geek, but by the time of any point in the Second Age that could be close to Ar-Pharazôn, who's the last king of Numenor, you're talking about at least a 2,000 or 3,000 year period in which Galadriel is married. Where's her husband?
Yeah.
What's he doing? I'm okay, and I'm okay with you doing a side quest without him. I really am, but you're not going to mention him.
Exactly.
You're not going to talk about him.
My feeling is that the author, the creator of this world and these characters, is the first word in the canon. The fans are the second word, and anybody else better respect that or not touch it.
Yeah. And again, they may fix all this later on if I'm just more patient. And I've made up my mind to try to at least get to the 5th episode and see how I feel. Just to be fair, because it's a little difficult to stay on my high horse when I've only seen 2 episodes. But
Curtis is a nerd. Yeah, it's true.
I'm a nerd.
We like him. That's kind of why we like him.
I haven't been allowed to be the nerd I wanted to be, but I think I've talked about, if I haven't talked about it on this channel, I know I've talked about it on mine. I grew up poor, so I didn't get to see a lot of movies or things, but books were, they were just my thing. And The Lord of the Rings was it. I mean, to this day, that's my standard. I evaluate nearly everything based off of how I feel it compares to that.
Darth Plato's right. Rings of Power is vandalism. It is just like, what they're doing when they destroy, these works of art in the museums and stuff. They're all cultural vandals.
Mm-hmm.
Having said that, orc lives matter.
Apparently now it does, yeah.
I'm more and more loving the Cthulhu thing. No lives matter.
I do too. I do too.
Postmodernism is neo-barbarianism. Yeah, that's true.
Why are you insulting neo-barbarians like that? Who? Somebody said something I wanted to. Oh, Sashi. Maybe they'll do a Dallas. Elrond wakes up at the end realizing it was all a dream.
Right. Exactly.
I could almost deal with that. Almost.
Actually, I always wanted somebody to do a little parody on that where Patrick Duffy turns around in the shower and he's the man from Atlantis. Does anyone remember the man from Atlantis?
I
just
vaguely.
Me?
Yeah, I remember very vaguely.
This was back in the early 80s. He was in a kind of pseudo superhero show for one season.
Yeah, it's kind of a Aquaman, basically.
Yeah, kind of an Aquaman character, and he had to be in water for
one.
a certain period of time. Or I think maybe when he was in water, he got special powers and stuff like that. He had telepathic abilities. He had webbed fingers. But yeah, that was Patrick Duffy. So you see him in the shower, and I'm like, that would have been a funny little reference. Awesome. People back when Dallas was on would have gotten it.
Yeah, Darth Plato. I mean, orcs. They're basically elves that have been broken, and Morgoth dominated them, and I don't see how. I mean, within the mythos of that world, the only thing that I think that could make them redeemable would maybe be the power of a god or something. Maybe.
Mikey Susie asks, is anyone on the panel looking forward to the third Venom film? I didn't know there was going to be a third Venom film.
There is.
It makes sense, of course.
Yeah.
They have to. What else do they have? And the Last Dance or Joker 2.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Let me tell you where I am on the Venom films. I know a little bit about a little bit when it comes to comic books. So I mostly just have the movies that are based on them to go by. And I understand that many of them are not accurate. The first Venom film, personally, I thought was fine, entertaining enough, rental. Okay. The Carnage movie was on my worst of the year list.
Oh, it was terrible. That was
movie
not good. I
movie
did
was
not like that
god-awful.
one. I enjoyed the first one. Didn't like that one. I'm going to go see the third one, though.
Woody Harrelson obviously had a lot of fun.
Doesn't he
But
have
it
fun
felt
in
like-
nearly everything he does?
Yeah.
Like it.
Like Nick Cage.
Yeah.
Right?
It felt like he was in a different movie. And I know enough about Carnage to know you got to give him more screen time than they gave him in that movie. Am I looking forward to a third one? No. Joker 2, the more I'm hearing about it, the less interested I'm getting.
I am going to go see it, but the moment that Lady Gagme was announced, and I just like, no. She's not a good actor, y'all.
Everything I've seen about this implies to me that it literally is a sequel to the previous movie. It's not going to have anything to do with any of the other Batman related products.
Yeah.
No.
And that it's probably going to be all in his head.
Yes,
or
and hers.
something.
That's
Yeah,
what makes it sequely, because it's in her head too. They're sharing. That's the whole.
Of course, the critics are already hating on it, which is what they. I mean, it's not like in the gutter, but I remember when the first one came out, all the stuff that was said about that first one. Oh, it's going to lead to mass,
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
All this, and so the critics hated it, but it was a really good film, and there wasn't anything like that in there. So the fact that there are low, there's not like super high stellar scores for this make me slightly more intrigued, because now I'm wondering what's in here that the elite critics didn't care for so much.
Right on.
Just makes me wonder. But I'm not happy at all about her in the role, because that's going to be hard to sit through with her.
Well, my biggest problem all along has been that nobody is at the wheel on the DC products over there at Warner Brothers. You got 3 different Jokers. You've got, I don't know how friggin' many Batmans, I'm just sick of it. I really am. Get your stuff together. Tell one cohesive story, damn it. It's how I've been feeling a long time for the Marvel side. Alternate universe, time travel, blah, blah, blah. Can we get one universe right, please?
Yeah, Mikey, Susie Ford, Johnny Depp, Nicolas Cage, they have fun no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not looking forward to this Batman 2 either. I was
the Reeves, Matt Reeves Batman.
Matt
Reeves,
I'm
not either. I never liked him in that role.
The first half of that movie was the best Batman movie ever made. Then they started in with the Antifa shit, and I'm out. Yeah,
of course they did. They had to.
Yeah,
they can't.
Darth Plato is saying that they tried to bring Tom Bombadil back in Rings.
I remember seeing.
Yeah.
stuff about
Yeah,
that.
Tom Bombadil is in the series. Yeah.
Why? I mean, if he was in the
I don't know.
movies, I'd be okay with that. But
Hmm.
oh well, whatever.
It's member berries. This is how they
Yeah.
think they get the fans back. Well, everybody was talking about Tom Bombadil not being in the movies. Let's put Tom Bombadil in this, and they'll be all happy then.
Well, and I'll admit, because I'm kind of a purist, I was upset to hear it, and then I watched the movie, and I was like, this is totally okay without him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There was a whole panel discussion at DragonCon last year about that.
Really?
Bombadil is in the house was the name of the panel.
Well, I mean, I was a teenager. I was like 12 when I read The Lord of the Rings, but I think if I had read it as a grown-up, I probably wouldn't like Tom Bombadil, but I liked him then because I was basically, still a kid.
yeah.
Well, I'd never read the book, so I had no idea who Tom Bombadil was when I went to the panel. I only went there because he was a mutual friend of one of my other online friends. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll go to his panel, support him. But it was an interesting discussion.
Tom Bombadil was a friend of one of your other friends?
I'm sorry.
Wow.
One of the guys. It's
Sin,
like,
you are now my idol.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
One of the guys on the panel.
Not only is she friends with famous people, now she's friends with fictional people too.
She's friends with a mythical godlike.
Oh my gosh.
being.
All right, I didn't think about how I was wording that.
You're not worthy. Connie, you're not worthy.
No, that is funny. I thought the same thing, and I knew what she meant,
I'm
but
sorry.
I was like, "That's a good one."
Oh,
That's
I
a
knew
good
what
one.
you meant.
It
but
is
I couldn't
late,
resist.
so I'm going to
couldn't
just chalk it up
resist.
to that.
No, and tired's definitely something I can understand. It's in the name. But I just
The other
couldn't
thing
help
is,
it.
I feel like Tom Bombadil, just from the narrative of the Fellowship of the Rings, it's like he's a side quest.
Yeah.
And if you're trying to tell a streamlined story, you totally would just forget about that. Put that aside. It's probably not even worth filming for a DVD extra,
The Tom Bombadil was like a character that he made up stories to his kids about.
Yeah.
And so he just felt the need to put him in. And I still, even as a grown-up, I like what he does with Tom Bombadil, but it's really not truly necessary to the rest of the story.
Actually, now that you say that, that's where the Tom Bombadil story would have been great. They should have done like a Rankin and Bass type cartoon of it, and then included it as a DVD extra with the film.
That actually could have been really cool,
right?
Really
yeah.
I'm weird and geeky enough to even still enjoy the old Rankin Bass stuff. I know it's not near as good as the movie or the books, but I still enjoy them.
Well, it's tied up in nostalgia for me, so it's hard for me to be truly objective. But I've got the DVDs on my shelf. That one, the what was it called? The Ralph Bakshi
Bakshi,
one,
yes.
Which kind of works together,
Oh, Bakshi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Arturella, you guys have a lot of fun on here. Yeah, we do. We really do.
When we're not getting tired.
That's what makes it more interesting.
I was wondering if Deleted had fallen asleep. He was quiet for a while.
No, I'm still here.
On this stream, he's still awake, but
trying to get more interwise.
Yeah, Darth Plato Tolkien wrote a Tom Bombadil short story before he wrote The Hobbit. So, but he, if I remember right, even the short story came from just silly stories he told his kids about Tom Bombadil. I got the last Tolkien book I got was his translation of Beowulf. And I was reading it at the time. Christopher Tolkien was still alive, and Christopher Tolkien was talking about how, his dad would read to him both in the Old English and in the translations. He'd read Beowulf to him, and I was just in awe, because that would be amazing.
Right? Mikey, we were talking about heavy metal on Geeky Geezers earlier tonight. That was our good old days discussion at the beginning of the show. Good stuff. See, and you feel like, and we said this about heavy metal, and I feel like you could say that about everything these days. You can't tell those stories anymore. People are too damn sensitive. They get too bent out of shape. Oh no, you showed us some female nudity in a cartoon.
No.
So horror.
That's misogynistic, and that's I don't know, whatever the hell these blue-haired weirdos say these days.
They can kiss their own ass.
They can't even see their own ass.
That too.
Hello to my partner in crime, Outlaw Bill.
Hi,
Mikey
Bill.
says-
Hey, Bill.
Outlaw Bill.
Oh, the secret of Nim.
That movie. I love that movie.
I want to
One
see
of
that
my
again.
That is in my
absolute
top 10.
You know what?
favorite.
That's going to have to be a Monday night. I'm going to
Love that
definitely pull
movie.
that one
Yeah.
out. I'll
So
couple it with
good.
another classic like that. But I love the soundtrack from that too.
I wish I'd seen that on the big screen. I remember when it came out, and it was
Don
kind of
Bluth.
So bad.
I did
wanted
not
to
see it
so
on the big
bad.
screen.
No.
I saw it on repeat on cable and loved it. Oh, I loved it.
I saw it. We rented it from the library.
Right.
Back when, if you wanted to rent movies, you had to rent a projector and the big reels.
Oh,
And we put it up on the wall in our living room. That's how I first saw The Secret of Nim.
That's cool.
So The Secret of Nim came out in 82. I probably didn't see it until about 84. It started in the
It was
cycle
in the
on
later
cable.
80s when I saw it as well.
So I had to be I was a preteen, say 13, 14 years old, just old enough to recognize Dom DeLuise's voice.
Right.
Oh, he was so funny in there.
And be fired up about that. I loved that.
Don Bluth was at our local con last year, and we went to
really?
his panel, and it was just a fantastic panel. It was so cool.
Oh,
And
man,
hello to the Peter Venkman fan site.
Howdy,
That's
howdy.
old school, yeah.
We are old school. Ha.
Well, you bring an old geezer like me on panel.
Hey,
That's what we're going to
hey.
talk about, you know?
You young kids with your hula hoops and your fax machine.
Because that was a style at the time. But not those white onions. They were yellow onions because there was a war on, you know?
Oh, I wish
I
it would
saw
come back to the big screen.
Yeah, I saw it first run myself.
Oh,
And I remember when my dad finally saw it when it came on HBO. And we get to the final battle, which is Justin versus oh God, what was his name? The villain.
My gosh, I know you're talking about.
What was his name? I remember the actor, but I don't remember the character. No. Jeremy was DeLuise.
Oh, okay. Right.
Justin versus my gosh.
The villain of the
that guy.
Yeah,
take what you want
that guy.
when you want.
You want. Yeah. And anyway, they get to that scene, and my dad is like, got his head in his hands, right? And he's like, I am watching rats have a sword fight. What am I watching?
Oh, wait a minute. It was Jenner.
Jenner, yes, that's it. I was looking it up. I was looking it up.
Justin was the
good guy.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Strauss.
You know what's interesting about that scene? Someone was showing, I think it might have been Simon, put something, I can't remember if it's up on my Discord or on Twitter or whatever, but that particular scene, it was kind of lifted from another movie. I can't remember if it was one of the old movies like that had to do with Greek mythology and fighting and stuff, and basically the what is it they call the storyboarding
Oh,
was
right,
pretty
right,
much
right.
identical the way they did
Was
it.
it a
Oh,
Ray
wow.
Harryhausen thing? Like
I'm
Jason
not
and the
sure. I
Argonauts or
can't.
something like that?
It might. I wanted to say Jason and the Argonauts, but I wasn't sure if that was correct.
Really?
Um,
Oh, cool.
I can't.
Because I remember
it was
thinking
interesting.
it was similar. I remember
Yeah.
thinking it was similar as a
And
kid.
it was showing like the way the fight went. It was pretty much exactly the same, give or take a few frames that might have been different where they showed another character or whatever. But that was
I was on another stream. We were talking about Secret of Nim just a couple years ago, and I was that many years old when I realized that the children, Martin and Teresa, were voiced by Will Wheaton
Shannon
and Shannon
Doherty.
Doherty.
Mhm.
Yeah.
God rest her. God rest
Yeah.
her.
And the I think by the time I saw the movie, the girl who played Mrs. Brisby had already, well, she exterminated herself
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
a few years after. So it's kind of sad, to watch that. Yeah, that was a good scene. And I also had the Secret of Nim book, and I read that to my kids.
Yep.
And it was a bit different, obviously, from the
Yes.
movie. I feel like
Yeah.
I like the movie more.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I personally, the voice acting and just the charm of the animation and the score and this really wonderful blending of heartwarming stuff and scary stuff and, horrific stuff and adventure and action. And it was all told in like less than an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I do think
Yeah.
that's one of the most underrated cartoons
So good.
ever.
So good.
And like I said, the soundtrack to Flying Dreams by Paul Williams.
Paul Williams.
Oh, I love that. I'll tell you, you can't be a kid of the 70s and not know Paul Williams, right?
Mm.
Right on.
Just beautiful. Oh.
Mrs. Frisbee, and that was the name in the book was Frisbee, not Brisbee.
Right.
I don't know why
Right.
they changed it.
They changed it.
It was,
I don't
it was
why.
Mrs. Frisbee and the Rats of Nim was the name of the book.
Yeah.
I've got the original book. And they
Dom
did a sequel.
They did. I never watched the sequel. Dom DeLuise's character in there, my mom always liked his character because you know how he likes sparklies?
I've always wanted a
sparklies. I like sparklies. And so mom really liked that line. So because she likes sparklies too.
He's the cat. He's the cat.
I'm allergic to cat. I'm allergic to cat. Such a good name.
Mrs. B, I need the sparkly. I need the sparkly. I gave it to the rats. What do you mean you gave it to the rats? Mrs. B, what am I going to do?
Hey, look, Mom, another turkey.
And that scene where she had to give the cat the stuff to knock it out. Ooh,
Yeah.
so tense.
But yeah, no, when I was starting to talk about the sequel, I meant they did there was a book. There was a second book in the series.
Oh,
and I have it, but I haven't read it yet. I read a commentary online about it, and they said that the author had changed some things in the book so as to be writing more of a sequel to the movie, just because that's where the interest was for a sequel, which I think that's kind of interesting. I'm not sure how I feel about an author feeling that you got to change, your narrative intent, but
they did that with Jurassic Park.
Yes, they did. Yeah.
In the original book, it is very obvious that Malcolm is dead.
Yes.
At the end.
Yeah.
But and for that matter, Hammond too. But they do return later on. I think Malcolm's in the second book. Were there
they
any
had an opportunity
books after? Did he just write the two, or because here's the thing, and this is something that really is starting to kind of annoy me now. is putting dead authors' names on books.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I am seeing a lot of co-written with Michael Crichton. The guy's been dead for like 20 years. Who's approving this?
Heck, I didn't realize Tom Clancy was dead for maybe almost a decade. Because there's all these books coming out with his name on them, and one day I found out he's dead, and I'm like, what? He's still writing.
If you have someone, like if you have an author who says, after I am dead, and if this writer will continue my series, it will be this person and this person alone, and that's it. I am fine with that. But because Robert Parker did that with Spencer and with the Colin Hitch novels, there were people, he said, please if something should happen to me, take the series and move on with it. And so they did. And unfortunately, multiple people have kind of gone on since, and they go into different directions. But I don't know, this is something kind of, there's something, it just feels like a cash grab now.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like, I can't do it. I can't buy these books. I can't read them. I'm not into them anymore. I don't.
So Michael Crichton had written the one Jurassic Park book, and he wanted to be done with it. Mm-hmm. And the only reason he wrote a second one was because they were going to do a sequel. And he's like, well, yeah, I may as well do the thing and make my money on it and do the licensing thing and whatnot. That's the only reason he did it. So his Lost World was published in 1995. He died in 2008. I don't, and he had some other books that he was writing. I don't think he, lived to write another book. If he had chosen to write a third Jurassic related book,
Did you guys read the second book?
Yes, I did.
Is it as good as the first?
No, but it was better than the movies.
The movie.
Yeah, right. It was. Well, for one, he actually brings Dodson back as the villain in the second book, which I thought made more sense than what they did in the films.
True.
Because obviously it would have to be him. Of course, it's going to be InGen again. It makes sense, Like I said, not as good a book, no. Because it's one of those books that kind of plays like they know there's going to be an adaptation.
Yeah. The other thing about it, at least tell me if you got the same impression, Deleted, but the first movie and the first book have so many differences, and some of the elements from the first book made it into the second movie, and so I just felt like it was kind of a mess.
Yeah.
They're two very different things, and honestly, I have never seen a film adaptation of a Michael Crichton story that lived up to the book. Just read the book. I was embarrassed. I think I told this story before. I took a bunch of friends with me when Timeline was released. Right. And I'm like, this was such a good book. You guys are going to love this. And we got through the movie, and I was like, guys, I am so sorry. This is not the book I read. And one of my friends was like, I got the impression that there was a good story there, but I'm like, yeah, read the book. Trust me, just read the book.
That is the case most of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like one thing that's interesting is, I know you were talking about on one of your shows, Troy, doing LA Confidential's a watch party.
Yep. That's coming up pretty soon, actually.
Yeah.
I'm pretty committed to that.
And please let me know, because I'd really love to be in on that.
2 weeks from today.
Okay.
I'm having Sin on next week for
Okay.
Well, tomorrow.
I mean tomorrow.
Terminator.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm having
Well, technically
tomorrow.
today.
Today.
Technically
Oh,
today.
this is
Later
so confusing. I'm having Sin on later today for Terminator. So next week, I'm doing LA Confidential, and
Okay.
I'm kind of leaning towards. And guys, let me know what you think would go well with LA Confidential. I'm thinking about Black Dahlia.
Black Dahlia
Oh.
would be pretty good. Yeah.
Oh, that was a terrible movie.
Was it?
Oh, you haven't
I've
seen
never
it yet?
seen it.
No.
I kind of disagree.
I know this.
I think the
I
movie's
know
fine.
I know the story. I know the historical
Yeah.
story. I don't know the movie.
Well, it's not per se the historical story. They use the historical story as a jumping off point, and then it kind of goes into its own.
That's the one with Josh Hartnett you're talking about, right?
Josh Hartnett, yeah.
Yeah.
Aaron Eckhart. Very twisted movie, but it's Elroy, so it always goes down twisted with him, But what I wanted to say about LA Confidential, the interesting thing there with me is the movie is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
It is. All right, and I'm not hacking on the movie at all. I love that movie. But if you read the book, you understand why so many people try to do it as a mini series for so many years, because there is so much in that book. It takes place. The book, the film doesn't, but the book takes place over years. There is so much going on. How they made the film they did is amazing, because they had the idea. Brian Helgeland and Curtis Hanson, rest in peace. What they did was they took everything in the book that tied the three main characters together, and they used that. But in the book, those three characters, they have a lot of side stuff that figures in as well. And one of the things that I wanted to do and come on that show and talk with you about are these things that the movie leaves out. They could have so easily done that as a mini series. In fact, they tried to do it as a series at one point.
Wow. Yeah.
If you have the anniversary DVD, they actually do have that pilot.
Oh my!
Show that they tried to do. That has Kiefer Sutherland in it. Actually, it's kind of interesting.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
that's funny.
He's Vincennes. It's interesting. Well, it's kind of weird because what the TV show tried to do was they have Vincennes, but they give him White's backstory.
Okay.
Which is interesting, but it throws me off personally because you lose that three-man aesthetic. That's not the word I'm looking for, but you know what I mean. So it's kind of like you're walking around with one boot off or something, because you've now essentially lost a character. You have two of the characters melded together, which is fine the way he plays it, because it's very interesting, because you have this guy who's from this abusive home, came from nothing, very poor. Now he's in Hollywood as a cop, intermingling with all of these, Hollywood stars and these kind of rich whack jobs, and he kind of knows everybody. And so it is interesting. But, it's just because there's really so much you can do with that story. Yeah, I mean, and I know this is not popular with you, Troy. I like Titanic. I saw Titanic in the theaters 3 times. But
wait, Sin, are you reacting because
I hate Titanic so much?
Oh, I didn't realize.
On this one, Sin. Totally.
Here's the thing. Okay. the movie I always go back to lately is LA Confidential.
Uh-huh.
And that's the movie that ultimately kind of sticks in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's one of those either or situations. I would have been fine with either one of them winning the Oscar that year. It's kind of like the same thing I have with
that was
Pulp.
the same year.
Yeah, that's kind of like the same thing I have with Pulp Fiction and Shawshank. I would have been fine with either one, you know. So it's that way sometimes. And hello to Dave C.
Hey, Dave.
Hi, Dave.
Jack Lives Matter. Jack
Rose,
Vincennes, Jack
this
Bauer.
way!
Gotcha.
Oh my gosh.
Jack Dawson. Yeah. Sashi says, never finished Titanic, kept dozing off half with you.
You
Well, it's
should
the
go
halfway point where shit hits the fan, dude.
When it hits the iceberg, that's when it gets okay. But like, if they could just
Jack
keep
dies.
all
That's
of the
the best
Jack
part.
and Rose stuff out of it, I hated that storyline so much that it tarnished the entire movie for me.
Okay. Well,
But the way they showed how everything happened with the ship was definitely very well done and very
with
sobering
the exception
and
of the
scary.
fact that they completely besmirched the character of the first officer.
Right.
By deciding, it'd be dramatic to have him shoot into this crowd and then shoot himself.
Yeah.
Like, that man really existed, and he has family alive.
They were alive at the time, yeah.
And there is no evidence that ever happened. You want to do that with your fictional characters, do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah.
That was my whole problem with the whole rest of the movie. Jack and whatever the hell her name was could have been the best thing since Rose could have been the best thing since sliced bread. Paint me like your French girls, whatever. No, you start screwing around with real people, and that's slander or libel or whatever it is when it's a movie.
All right, so Curtis, I understand we have to let you go.
I'm sorry. I got
Get out of here,
all that crap.
So what do you have coming up for your channel?
Well, I randomly decided to do a talk on Tuesday about the history of the spiritual Great Awakenings, and I wanted to kind of. I know it sounds boring as crap, but evidently people are looking that up to find my channel, and I have this weird thing of, well, if you're going to look things up and find my channel with it, I should have something to let you have some information. But I also want to at least vaguely tie it to some of the things that are going on today. And anyway, I haven't figured out yet what I'm going to talk about Thursday, but I'll do something on Thursday. And on Saturday, y'all let me know what you'd like to see. I'm going to have some kind of cartoon fairly late Saturday morning. Oh, yes, and Sashi would like to pass on his regards to my Russian handler, because I had a stream recently that we are all Russian assets.
Oh, of course.
All of us.
I find all that so humorous because Russia does not give a flying F.
No, they don't.
They really don't anymore.
And I'm still friends with my liberal friends, and I know I probably need to quit harping on them, but unless they've recently changed their minds, they still believe. And I'm to the point with that, like I was with RFK. You're going to say one lie, okay. I mean, you're saying two lies. Oh, I'm starting to be embarrassed. You're saying three lies, but that third lie is really ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then you say the fourth one, and it's so over the top. And I'm like, you guys are just in the offices betting on how outrageous of a lie we'll believe. That's all that's going on now.
It's got to be, because I would not be shocked if one of the main news outlets came out and said, Trump is actually a secret Sith. And he's he's an alien Sith who's trying to take over the United States and turn it into an empire.
Well, I mean, they have done everything but that,
Right.
pretty much.
Exactly.
Well, and I don't want to talk about it now that we're no longer backstage, but the person that we were talking about backstage, that was kind of my, okay, I'm done. I'm just done. I'm done dealing with this.
Yeah.
Was when you come out and say, oh, by the way, the guy's the Antichrist, and here's the scripture that I used to back it up with. Probably the most major theme, with the possible exception of, censorship is bad, of my channel is that we've got to stop demonizing each other.
Exactly.
We've got to. And how much, I mean, I don't see how you can demonize someone any more than to say that they are the Antichrist.
Right.
So, anyway, there it is. Except for Putin's diabolical statement about supporting the Indian lady, he's such a troll.
Yeah.
Indian lady?
Kamala.
Pamela.
Yeah.
Kamala, don't break this heart of mine. Just remember, we may not heal this time.
Is that an actual song?
It is. Well,
Oh.
not Kamala. It's actually Pamela. It's
Oh.
Toto. It's a Toto song.
Okay.
Badly sung, so there's no way you could have really recognized it. But just imagine people with actual good voice. Imagine Toto.
Yeah, there's
singing
only
it.
one song of theirs I know. So
Oh my gosh.
Yes, I know.
You have not lived.
I'm not super huge into music. So.
Pamela, don't break this
haven't heard that
heart of
one.
mine. Just remember, you may not heal this time. Love that
I always
song.
felt like the Toto writing songs about different girls. They're all just trying to work out their past love lives.
Yeah, well, I was cool with that because I was like really torn up over a woman when I was a teenager. So, they
we were all angsty.
resonated with me, all of it. Now I'm old and I'm kind of like, well, Pamela probably had it coming.
That's exactly right. You dodged the bullet, guys.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Sasha,
Get out of here. What are you still doing here?
I'm going. I'm fine. I'm going.
2 hours
Going
later.
away. We had enough of you guys. Don't even like you guys. No, I love you guys. Thank you very much for having me on here and listening to my silly crap and singing about Pamela for no good reason. All right. Hopefully that doesn't get us that'll get us a copyright strike right there. Probably just that one bar.
Yeah.
Freaking Toto. Anyway. All right. Take care, guys. Good night.
Night.
Take care.
Hey, Curtis.
Good night.
Good night.
Love you guys.
Sashi says, nobody get on my case for calling her Indian lady. I'm an Indian. Well, see, I don't think anyone's going to get on anybody's case about it. Her heritage is her heritage. I mean, reality is reality. But it's just, I don't think of her that way. It's just, she's that cackling hyena, to me.
Yeah. All right. So, Sin, how long do we have you for?
Oh, probably not much longer.
Okay.
We've been going at it for almost 2 hours. I
She's starting the slow blink.
Okay.
I'm tired.
All right. Well,
Understand.
yeah, I think this is a good of places I need to wrap it up for tonight. So, Sin, why don't you go ahead and what do you have coming
up this week?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go see the Regal Mystery movie tomorrow, but then I'm gonna try to race back home so I'm not too late for the double feature stream with Troy of the Terminator and Terminator 2.
Right.
And I'm looking forward to that because I'm always down for watching those movies. I love them absolutely. And then I had my calendar up, and then then the next night, Tuesday night, is when we're supposed to do our discussion about the mystery movie because we typically do that on Mondays. But because of the Terminator, Deleted has kindly suggested we reschedule to Tuesday, which makes me happy. And then after that, what's going on? I'm going to be on a live stream with Soundbooth Theater where we're going to be talking about that anime I was ranting about earlier. and Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and then also Eastern Promises. And then on
Oh, good one.
Thursday, Eastern Promises, I just finished watching that right before this
Very good
stream
movie.
started.
Yeah.
I had seen it before. Oh, so good.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to be on Paul's channel, Off the Cover, on Thursday. And then on Friday, I'm going to be on Anthony A. Perez's channel at noon talking about The Amazing Spider-Man 2. And then on Saturday, I'm going to go watch an advanced screener of Transformers 1. Maybe I'll do a review for that. So, yeah, I got a lot of stuff going on. And then possibly having to take Javier to jury duty on Tuesday, early in the morning. So,
Oof.
yeah, I'm hoping that doesn't happen. Actually, we'll see. I was going to drive him downtown because he doesn't know the first thing about downtown, but we'll see.
So what are your thoughts on what the movie might be?
You know, I was wondering if it was going to be Speak No Evil. I was wondering because they actually have an advanced screener that same night in the same theater. And then I was thinking, wouldn't that be hilarious if it's Speak No Evil, the same movie that they're having the advanced screen? You know what I mean? Like a free screening for general audiences.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be hilarious if they're both Speak No Evil. There was another one that I was wondering if it might be, and now I'm blanking out on it. What do you
me
think?
too. There was a horror movie that somebody had brought up that I said, oh, that might be possible. But the two things that are wrong there is they usually say it's a horror movie beforehand. And also the times are wrong.
Do they really? I've only
So
one time
far,
have they said it's a horror movie. Only one time have they specifically said horror, I thought. They'll tell you if it's rated R. Okay, so and you said the timing?
And the time is off too. Because
yeah, but the time's always off.
Yeah, not well.
Sometimes by a lot.
I don't know. Yeah, but I mean they don't normally. And hello, Arturo.
I was going to pull up my Regal. So Speak No Evil.
To the Regal.
I would just Never Let Go. The Halle Berry, maybe.
Oh yeah, that's possible, isn't it? Okay. Bear with us, folks. Hold on.
Yeah, I was just trying to refresh my memory as to what I thought it might be. So that's why I haven't bought a ticket yet to Speak No Evil, just in case it's going to be the mystery movie. So I don't know. I guess. Oh my gosh, they're bringing Selena back to the big screen. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll know this time tomorrow, but oh well. This time tomorrow I'll be asleep maybe. So we'll know in less than 24 hours.
Trying to look here real quick. Come on.
Is Afraid out in theaters
yeah,
already?
Afraid
okay,
has been out. Yeah.
Okay, so it's not going to be that.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. All right, because these are the details that were given on the site.
It's like an hour and 30 something, right?
Hour 39.
Okay, yeah. What about the Killer's Game? I was wondering about that. That one was another one I was wondering.
How?
Maybe. Yeah.
What did you say the runtime is for this movie?
They're saying it's an hour and 39, but they always lie about the runtime. Sometimes it's been off by quite a bit. Sometimes it's been off by at least 15 to 20
I was going to
minutes.
say, Speak No Evil is supposed to be 1 hour, 37 minutes. So there you go.
We'll see. I definitely want to see it. So I would love it if that's what it is. But I could also see it being Killer's Game. That's an hour 44.
Oh, okay.
Killer's Game is basically killing Emmett Young, except this time Emmett is a hitman. That's basically what this movie is. So we'll see if it's any better.
Yeah, well, we'll see. All right. Well, all right. Allison, we'll go ahead and let you
What do
go.
you?
Catch some Z's. Oh,
Oh yeah. Okay. Okay.
we're
All
going to
right.
go around the horn? Yeah.
I
Okay.
know. I
So
thought
if
you were.
you've got, I
You're
am
still.
ending the show, but if you
Oh,
want to
okay.
stay, okay. If you need to go, please
Oh
go ahead
yeah.
and let us
I
keep you.
will probably go ahead and bow out just
Okay.
because. Every live stream I'm on, Sashi says I expect Sin to pop in whenever Terminator is mentioned. It's like I just have this radar going.
Right?
All right. Well, thank you to everyone who joined in the comments. It's been fun, and sorry I couldn't stay on till the very, very end. But yeah, it's late for me, so I'm going to go ahead and bow out, and I'll see you guys later.
Take care, Sin.
Bye.
Okay.
You too.
Take care, Sin.
And yes, to answer Clifton, for me, Joanna Cassidy, Blade Runner.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was told not to peek, but I peeked because I'm that guy. All right, Connie, what do you have?
There wasn't a lot there. It was a brief scene.
Yeah.
I'll be doing the Wednesday and Friday night movies. I haven't decided what I'm doing yet. I did post a little short of my pumpkin patch on Skeptic Productions. When I get back home, I'm going to be working on a few of my videos and touch up a couple of things when I get back home. And that'll be it for right now for me.
All right. Well, Troy.
Yeah, so that Terminator double feature that I talked about, Monday night at last call's Monday night at the movies, starting 8 Central, 9 Eastern, where, as you heard, Sin's Corner will be my possibly late guest. But I've also got some invites out to a couple other people, so Stone Loki might also be joining me tomorrow night. He may not be able to stay till the end, so maybe there'll be some overlap of those two. So that's tomorrow night on my channel, or later tonight, depending on how you're calculating your time. Then I will be guesting over on Pops's channel Tuesday at 4:30 Central, 5:30 Eastern for Talk Hard, where he and Stone Loki and Ironcaster, and I don't remember who else is regulars on the show, will be talking about Terminator, and they're having me on as their guest. So I figured, yeah, it just made sense to watch it the day before, which will lead into, well, with a couple hours break, there'll lead into Live from Sparkwood 21, which Deleted Scenes will tell you all about. Thursday, I'll be, of course, co-hosting over on Netter's channel for Thursday Things, where her guest will be Raquel SSG2211. Yep, got it right. She'll be talking about her channel and her content, and hopefully everyone will get to know her and like her and subscribe to her channel. And then on Friday, I will be for my regular stream, last call, 9 Central, 10 Eastern. Since this week is the annual remembrance of 9/11 and how it changed history, I think we're going to do a little bit of talk about it, retrospective, and where were you on the day? So that's what we'll be talking about on Friday, 9 Central, 10 Eastern. Wrap up the week with Netter's channel on Saturday for retro cinema. We'll be watching part 1 of Dune with Timothée Chalamet, with special guest
Hello, Humans Thade.
Hello, Humans Thade. Yes, yes. So that will be Saturday. Yeah, I've got a full week too. So there you go. That's it.
Brings things around to me. Of course, I am going to be attending the mystery movie night tomorrow night, so I'm probably going to be a little late into the chat for Terminator as well, but I'm going to try to get there as quick as I can. Of course, Sin and I will be reviewing said film Tuesday night at 7, tentatively scheduled. Of course, that will be the lead-in for Live from Sparkwood in 21, our Twin Peaks retrospective series, along with Troy and Nutter and Age Boomer. Let's see. Thursday, there will be no action theater Thursday because Bill has some behind-the-scenes things to take care of. So that's going to be pushed back to next week, and we are going to be watching Thunderball, James Bond film with Sean Connery. Hello to Dad Man Walking and Anti-Derivative Jill joining us right at the end.
Hello.
All right. Yes. And let's see. Of course, there's Thursday things. And this week's guest is going to be Raquel, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Raquel Nutter? Yeah. Raquel and SSG.
Yep.
And then let's see, right after that will be my weekend update show where I let everybody know what I'm going to be doing for the next week. I can tell you confirmed that I will be co-hosting a special Friday night edition of Films with Friends over on Big Al's channel. We are going to be watching Friday the 13th Part 2. That will be, of course, Friday at 8 o'clock. And we will be joined on that program by Outlaw Bill. And, well, I can go ahead and say this, right, Nutter? That Thursday next week, I am going to be the guest on Thursday Things.
That's right.
So, all right. So that about wraps it up for me. Of course, everybody, please, thank you all very much for being here and continuing to support the channel in its recent troubles. There's been I've basically been shadow banned, folks. How and why that took place, I don't know. I got a few ideas. But anyway, that's what I'm dealing with now. Now at the highest point in the show, we had 52 people watching. So appreciate for all of you who stuck with us throughout the entire show. Thank you all very much. I hope you enjoyed it. I'd like to thank everybody who joined us tonight on Twitter. I can't see you, but I know that you're there. And of course, everyone who joined in on the chats and all the channels, because I think pretty much everybody on the panel was simulcasting. So thank you all for joining us. All right. Any last thoughts, folks?
Nope. Just want to thank everyone for coming, hanging out with us, helping us wind down our weekend, and doing all those wonderful YouTube things that really do encourage us. Hitting the like, sharing out the stream, subscribing, becoming a member if you're so inclined. Definitely helps keep the lights on for all of us. We super appreciate it.
Yes, thank you for coming, everyone. Hope to see everyone on the next stream. Peace and love.
Indeed. This has been The Other Side of Midnight. Please join us next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. I'd like to thank Curtis Selby, the tired midnight blogger. Sin's Corner. Fluff Chick Productions and Connie Cleary. Last Call, Troy Pacelli, and of course, in the background, Netter's Network. And of course, everyone in the chat. From HQ, and all points north, south, east, west, and beyond. Good night. Take care. Stay strong. Be safe. Because this is how we win.